Hi friends, my name is Kelly. Welcome back. I'm so glad you stopped by. This is my mid-April wrap-up, so everything that I've read so far, and I'll talk about some things I'm in the middle of. The first thing that I finished this month was an audiobook called Becoming Free Indeed, and this is by Jinger, Duggar, Vuolo, and she is one of the 19 kids from 19 Kids and Counting, the famous Duggar family. This is not a tell-all, so if you pick up this book hoping to get dirt on the Duggars, that's not what this is. This was Ginger's way of talking about what she has learned since she's become an adult and how she is going away from some of the teachings that she got as a child. She does this without dogging on her parents or her siblings. She's very gracious when she talks about her parents. She loves them dearly and thinks that she was very loved and had a happy childhood. But she does talk about the teachings of Bill Gothard. And I do not bring this up to hurt anyone's feelings that follows Bill Gothard's teachings, but she feels like a lot of the teaching is fear-based and man-made teachings instead of the Bible. And so, like, for example, like she talked about how she'd be terrified of if she heard music with drums, like she'd even be afraid that she'd have a car accident because they were told that, you know, drum music was evil and satanic. They weren't allowed to wear pants, and she feels like that is modesty is something that is valued in the Bible, but there's nothing that says, you have to wear dresses. So she feels like there are some things that she was taught as a child, and particularly through the teachings of Bill Gothard, she feels that that is dangerous. She has not at all left her faith. In fact, her faith is stronger through this process, and she's gone through the Bible, and she's chosen to not go with his teachings anymore and go more what she has read in the Bible. So it was very interesting, but if you're looking for a tell-all, this is not the book for you. The next book I completed, we actually completed as a family, as an audio. I had read the book aloud to my daughter before. It's the second book in the Winterhouse trilogy, The Secrets of Winterhouse by Ben Gutterson. This is a magical series where you are in a hotel where it's basically always winter around. There's permafrost, and it's just the young girl in the series, she is just very bookish, and I love that. So I definitely recommend this series. I can't talk a lot about it. There are obviously elements of magic, so if you steer clear of that, but it's very magical and lovely, and I really enjoy it. The next book I finished was called The Trouble with Miracles, and this is by an independent author called Steele. And I would describe this book as kind of Jack Ryan meets the X-Files, because there are definite elements of like communism, like the Chinese government has exerted some control over Chile's government, and there's a search for certain, things that have sci-fi, fantasy type vibes. I thought it was very creative. I liked the character development. I liked the story, and I only have one complaint. There was a dual timeline where someone was writing in a journal back in like the 1700s, and I felt like it did not reflect language that would have been used in the 1700s. It did make it a little bit of tongue-in-cheek to have them speaking a little bit more modern, which I thought might have been intentional. So it was pretty good, and I would definitely recommend checking it out if you like kind of that Jack Ryan / X-Files feel. All right, the next book that I finished was by Sabaa Tahir, and it's the third book in the Ember and the Ashes series, A Reaper at the Gates. And again, I'm trying to finish series this year. That's a big goal. This is more of a YA type fictional fantasy story, and we have a strong female lead who has been, her people or the scholars, they've been oppressed. They used to be, of course, the people that had all the knowledge, and then they were denied by the Militaristic Society of Learning. She realizes that she's not who she thinks she is. She learned a lot about her family along the way. Her brother is helping with resistance. And in this book, she has had a love interest She's had some betrayal. This love interest, everything is trying to draw them apart. I'm very much not really that interested in the love story anymore, but there are so many. There's another female character in this that is like the head of the militaristic army, and she is having a lot of like revelations and feelings, and I really enjoy her. So I don't really care about the romance, but that's okay because there's enough other things going on that I am enjoying. So I will be continuing. There is one more book in this series, a 4th book, and I will be continuing on with that eventually. The next book that my family finished together was called Amon's Adventure. And this is by, sorry, we're getting a little bit of ring light glow, Arnold Ytreeide. And it is an Advent reading that we finished, of course, at Easter. And I loved it because it's like fictional, what could have been going on the sidelines leading up to Passover and the crucifixion and Jesus' resurrection. So it was very fun to read this as a family. It was entertaining, but it also had some scriptures and kind of set our minds on Lent. If you have young children or very sensitive children, there are some very intense scenes. So preview and use with caution if you want to try it out next year. We've also done, by the same author, we did an Advent reading called Jotham's Journey, and Jotham is supposed to be Amon's father. So it's very good how that all kind of connects together. So now I have some books that I'm still in the middle of reading. I have started Easton Eden by John Steinbeck, and I don't know how to describe this except it's kind of messed up, but I'm intrigued. But it definitely, like, it's dealing with like evil and people's intentions, and it's just a very interesting read. I will let y'all know what I think when I finish it. The other book I'm still in the middle of is Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb. This is #1 in the Live Ship trilogy, and I am really enjoying it. It does have some trigger warnings. If you need some trigger warnings, I will let you know that there is some misogyny. There is definitely some talk of slavery because there's a slave trade happening here. So keep that in mind. But oh my goodness, I really love the fantasy elements of the book. It's not overwhelming. It's not too much to bear. I just really, spot on. I'm enjoying it so far. And then the other thing that I am kind of in the middle of right now are some middle grade reads that I won't really get into, that I'm reading to my kids. But I am having a great April reading month so far. I will be starting Enchanted April pretty soon as a buddy read, and I can't wait for everything else that I think I will be able to get to in this month. I hope you're having a wonderful April. Let me know what you have read so far, and if you haven't read anything so far, let me know what you're looking most forward to getting to in the month of April. Read a lot. Bye-bye.